don't beg, I don't chase, I don't force what don't fit my space. I know my value, I know my name. If it leave, I let it. If it stay, it's earned its place. I don't beg.
Hey you guys, welcome back to Soft Lover Girl Diary. I'm really glad you're here tonight, okay? So tonight I want to talk about something I've been learning. And what I've been learning is everything doesn't need to be forced. And I mean everything. Sometimes we get so attached to how we think something is supposed to happen that we don't realize how exhausted we've become trying to make it happen. We're trying to make something fit, trying to make something work, trying to get an answer, trying to understand why something isn't moving the way we thought it would. And eventually you have to ask yourself, why am I fighting this hard for something that keeps fighting me back? And I've been thinking about that lately because there's a difference between being committed to something and constantly forcing something. Persistence has its place. You shouldn't give up on everything just because it gets difficult. But wisdom also teaches you to recognize when you're pushing against something that simply isn't for you anymore. And I think that's where discernment comes in. Sometimes the answer isn't to try harder. Sometimes the answer is to loosen your grip. Because when you're holding something too tightly, you don't leave much room for life to show you another way. And that's hard, especially when you really wanted it. Sometimes we get attached to the picture we created in our head. We already decided how it was supposed to happen, who was supposed to be there, and how long it was supposed to take. And then life goes, nope, we're going another way. And to be honest, that will humble you. But I'm starting to understand that redirection isn't always rejection. Sometimes what feels like something falling apart is really something being moved out of the way. You may not understand it while you're in it. That's the uncomfortable part because we want answers immediately. We want to know why. But I've learned that some things only make sense when you look back. There were moments I thought I was losing something, and later I realized I was being redirected towards something that fit me better. That's why I'm learning not to chase everything that leaves. I'm learning not to force every door open, and I'm definitely learning that peace is information too. If something constantly requires me to abandon my peace just to keep it, I have to pay attention to that. That doesn't mean everything meant for you will be easy. That's not realistic, but I do believe there's a difference between something challenging you to grow and something draining you just to remain connected to it. And knowing the difference takes wisdom. So maybe there's something you've been holding on to tonight, and deep down you already know you're tired of forcing it. Maybe you don't need another sign. Maybe you just need enough trust to loosen your grip and see what happens when you stop trying to control the outcome. What's meant to stay will have room to stay. What's meant to leave will have room to leave. And what's meant to find you will finally have room to come in. Sometimes surrender isn't giving up. Sometimes surrender is finally trusting that you don't have to force your way into what's meant for you. So I've been sitting with that lately, and maybe you needed to sit with it too. So I thank you for spending this time with me tonight, and take care of your heart. Trust your discernment and give yourself permission to stop forcing what no longer flows. Okay? Until next time, let's continue to heal, grow, and glow together.
Pretty on purpose, peace in my pocket. Blessing keep calling, I ain't gotta force it. Pretty on purpose, whole lot of confidence. Moving with love, now my life looking different. Pretty on purpose, look how I'm glowing. I planted the seeds.